So, hello, I just made a video about the worst song I've ever written, and I was tagged to do that video by Alex Day, and it occurred to me that some people might actually feel a bit uncomfortable even hearing his name in one of my videos, which I find a bit weird, and I feel a bit weird about it, so I thought I'd talk about it, because that's what you do if you feel weird about something. So, I thought I'd try and explain to you why I don't hate Alex Day. Because why not? I'm going to just do this off the top of my head very simply, and I'll try and be brief, because I don't want to make a big deal out of it. But and in case anyone doesn't know who Alex is or anything, he was a very big and successful YouTuber and musician, and then it came out that he'd cheated on his girlfriend, and there was all sorts of discussion about the way that he treated women generally, and he is now very much persona non grata within the UK YouTube community, such as it is. And so some people, I mean, genuinely, I've had a couple of tweets in the past about it when I've mentioned that I'm still mates with Alex. Some people really don't think I should talk to him or work with him, and some people find it just was uncomfortable to know that he still exists. So yeah, I just thought I'd talk about why I don't hate him, really. A few brief points off the top of my head. Firstly, I just find it quite hard to hate people, full stop, because it seems so unconstructive to me. It just feels meaningless. Like, even if someone's done something terrible or they're just a really bad person, I just find it really difficult to hate them, because I know that everyone's got their own idea of what's good and bad behaviour in life, and everyone's got their own way of relating to the world, and so I think fair enough. Everyone's got their own struggles going on as well that we don't know about, so generally I just find it quite hard to hate people. So maybe, maybe I'm just not very good at it. The second thing though is that I don't think actually hating him does anybody any good. Him and various other YouTubers who have been kind of roundly hounded out of this community for usually sexual misdemeanors. I don't think it's very constructive or I don't think it does a service to the dialogue about it, because I think we should be listening to these people and understanding why they thought it was all right to behave in the ways that they did. And more generally, like, when stuff goes wrong, you want to know why people thought it was all right to do whatever awful thing they did. And you want to reflect on it and understand not only what they could do differently in their future, but also how, the community and the society that we live in can best deal with that issue. And it's very, very difficult to do that from one side of the argument. So my feeling has always been that it's actually a really good idea to stay close to these people and try and understand where they're coming from. Not because you want to go, hey, yeah, I totally get it, you were in the right all along, but because you want to understand what they were thinking, like what on earth they were thinking that made them so badly, if indeed they did, And so I think that's a really good and constructive thing. And I feel like a lot of the what's actually happened on YouTube is that people have tried to sweep it under the rug and kind of move the issue off as though it's dealt with, because we've gotten rid of the bad apples, and it's childish and not very constructive. And I understand a lot of people just feel physically sort of uncomfortable thinking or talking about it, but I think it's sort of on them to be mature and grown up and to try to engage with these situations, because they are complicated. They're not just black and white. It's not just a simple situation where someone's done something terrible and they're evil and we can cast them aside, because very, very rarely does anyone do something evil on purpose because they think that they're, it's brilliant to do horrible things and to cause people pain. They do stuff because they think that it's the right thing to do, or because they're selfish or they're scared or they're insecure or whatever. So I just find that stuff interesting, and so I hope you'll understand when I say that I think it's quite a positive thing not to hate people who you think are wrong, because then you might learn things and you might grow as a person. Thirdly, and probably finally, thirdly and not finally, I really relate to Alex and the other people who have been hounded out of this community. I've made videos about this in the past, but I feel quite like there but for the grace of God go I. When I was at school, I was just terrible with girls. I was really creepy and weird and just did everything wrong that you could possibly imagine. And I feel like I've, grown to some extent and learned how not to be like that. But because I was sort of allowed to make some mistakes and bounce back from those mistakes without anyone thinking that I was a horrendous dick, you know. So I think it's kind of important not to just hate people for acting in a way that actually is pretty common across young men in this day and age because of the way we're brought up, or because of the way society expects us to behave, or just because we're selfish and thoughtless, you know. Because everyone is at some point in their lives, and people grow up at different rates. And I feel like, you know, if I had been as successful as Alex was at 19 and made the kind of money that he made, I might have been a very, very different person. I might have felt far less inclined to think seriously about the way that I treated people around me and girls, because I could just do what I wanted because I was powerful and rich and whatever, and I would think, well, my life's working pretty well for me. And so I feel like, you know, it's very difficult for me to hate someone when I think probably if I lived the same life as them, I'd have probably done exactly the same mistakes that they did. So that's another reason. The fourth reason though, and this might, you know, just wind you all up, I don't know. Fourth reason is that I've spent quite a lot of time with Alex over the last 6 months or so. We've been working on an album together. I'm producing his new album with him. And he's just really good. He's a good bloke. He's interesting. He's funny. He's actually really quite kind-hearted and thoughtful and creative, and his songs are good. And there's all sorts of reasons why I really like hanging out with him. And everyone's got some flaws, and sometimes those flaws are so huge that you can't ignore them, and that the good things about them don't balance them out. But you know, I really think that for all his flaws, Alex is actually a pretty good guy. So I don't hate him because he's basically pretty good, I think. But you know, then I've never had sex with him, so it's kind of, you know, maybe I'd feel differently. I don't know. I think he's quite a good guy though, and I like his music, and I like working with him on stuff. I like the way that he thinks about his work. He's got this amazing capacity to not only come up with brilliant ideas, but then to actually just go ahead and do them. He's very bold and excitable and proactive in that way. So he's actually kind of exciting to be around, and he teaches me things that I don't learn anywhere else. So for that reason as well, I don't hate him. And I hope that the vast majority of you don't hate me for not hating him. I know there are a few people who find it sort of uncomfortable to hear that he still exists, but I hope most people realise that actually life sort of has to go on, and you can't hate everyone that still talks to someone who still talks to someone who might have done something bad in the past. You know, it's very important to acknowledge that bad things happen and try and understand why they happen, and try and understand who can change in what ways to make the world a better place. But I think it's also really important to be positive and to be constructive and proactive and move forward, and to do good work if the opportunity arises as well. So, you know, I don't feel in the least guilty for liking Alex and for not hating him and refusing to talk to him like a lot of people do. So I hope that makes at least some sense to you. Cool. Serious video over for the time being, I think. Do please ask me questions in the comments, like if that would, I don't know if that would be a really weird thing to do. I don't know. I'm always open to talk to people. It's nice. I'm on Twitter as well. Yeah. Super duper. Anyway, so look, I'll be telling you more about Alex's album at some point in the future. So to some extent, I just wanted to prepare you for that. I don't want it to be a surprise when I start saying, hey, Alex has made an album and I helped and it's good. So look forward to that. And I really think you'll like it if you like music, because it's good. So look out for that. And in the meantime, cheers for being good people, and I hope to think with you and talk to you again soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.